In this quick video, I'm going to show you a purl bind off method. So you're binding off on the wrong side of the knitted item. So in this case, I'm working a half pie shawl. This is my right side, which is where I want this nice horizontal knit stitch to appear. So I'm actually going to turn it around and work on the purl side. Now this is similar to a knitted bind off where you knit the first two stitches and then you'll knit pick one stitch up and move it over the other. You'll purl one stitch. This is I'm in the middle of the row, but if you're starting a row, you'll purl two stitches, right? So 1, 2, and then you'll identify this. Let's call this the first stitch and this the second stitch, even though this is closer to the edge of the needle. You want to take this first stitch that you worked and lift it using your left hand needle up and over that second stitch. So now you've bound off one. So we'll go ahead and purl another stitch from the left hand needle. You may need to drop your working yarn here so that you can easily identify what stitch you need to lift up and over. But you're just going to continue purling one and then lifting one up and over. You want the yarn to be tight enough that you can work with it, but not so tight that it's like you've a really crazy tight tension. And the reason is if you have too much tension, your edge will reflect that, so it won't be super stretchy. It won't be stretchy at all, in fact. And the reason I'm choosing this bind off again is that it mimics the Vickle braid that I worked 3 rows of Vickle braid. It's just going in the opposite direction here. So if you look closely, the Vickle braid works this way, and now I'm just working back across the other way. If you really want, you can break the yarn at the end of your shawl, start over like we did for the Vickle braid, and go from right to left, but I just want one less tail to work in, honestly, at this point, and this is the method that I ended up choosing. So as long as you need you can work this bind off, like I said, knitting it. So knit 2 stitches and then bring the first stitch up and over the second, and then you'll just knit one, lift one over, knit one, lift one over. In this case, we're purling. So you purl 2 stitches, lift the first up and over the second, and then purl one, lift one, purl one, lift one. Either way will get you this horizontal sloping stitch across the edge of your work. Like if we did it here, if we did a knitted bind off, it would look a little bit funky here, and it would be on my wrong side. So that is the suspended purl bind off.